Hey, Trig class. I just wanted to touch base with you guys on this first day of our week or more of e-learning. Give you an idea of what's going to be coming up and kind of where we're going to head from here. On Friday, we took that test over Unit 3. I will be working this week on getting those grades in on Skyward, so if you want to keep an eye on that, those grades will go in at some point on Skyward. And then this week, we are going to be doing some activities that are not necessarily related to trigonometry. Sorry for any disappointment that you guys might have there, but we'll be doing some things that I just want to try and get, I think one of the things that's going to be important for this week is that you just keep that that school part of your brain active. And I think it'll help you. I think it'll help to kind of establish a baseline of normalcy, to kind of still be thinking academically and thinking with all the different parts of our brain that we use while we're at school. So I'm going to be doing my best to try and give you opportunities to do that. Some of the stuff that we're going to be doing this week will, again, not be necessarily related to trigonometry, but they will be related to things that we're going to be doing in the future. Particularly, I have a few activities for you from Desmos, the online graphing tool that you've seen me use a couple times that some of you guys might be familiar with from other classes. I have some pretty fun activities, actually. I think you guys will probably enjoy some of these activities that I have queued up ready to go for you guys. But they won't necessarily be related to trigonometry. When we get back from spring break, whether we're at school or whether we're still doing e-learning, we will start looking at Unit 4, our last unit of trigonometry that's related to graphing the trigonometric functions. So that's kind of coming down the pipeline a little bit. This week will not necessarily be directly related to that. A couple other things I just wanted to point out. If you see on the board behind me, that code, I went ahead and created a Remind.com account for the class. So if you want to join that, I think it'd be a great idea. That might be a real easy way to get in contact with me through these days or weeks of e-learning that we're going to be doing. You can text me through the app, like I'm sure you're probably familiar with. So you might want to join that. If you do text me through that and I don't respond right away, don't worry. I'll get to you. I might just be, wrangling my kids or doing something like that. But I'll get back to you as soon as I can if you have anything you need to ask me about through the Remind.com account. So that's kind of where we're at school-wise. The one other thing I did want to kind of talk about just real briefly is, non-academic stuff and where we're at right now with this whole situation. I know that if you're like me, this has caused a lot of uncertainty, and uncertainties for some people causes anxiety and causes worry and stress. So I just wanted to kind of address some of that stuff a little bit. First of all, I would definitely recommend that you guys do take this seriously. There's a lot of stuff going around about how serious we should be taking what's happening and whether we're overreacting or anything like that. I would say that what we've been doing is probably an overabundance of caution in a good way, because we want to do it's going to be much better in the long run if we do more than necessary than less than is necessary. So that's kind of, I think, the approach that our leaders are taking in the country right now. With that being said, follow those guidelines that you're hearing coming out about social distancing. I would say don't take this as an opportunity to spend an extra week hanging out with your friends hours at a time. It's not a bad idea to check in on friends and to kind of spend some time in a social way, but if you can do it while still following some of these guidelines, I think that'd be great. If you need to go take a walk with a friend, get outside, get that sunshine, get that fresh air, I think that's a great idea. Doing some exercise would be a great thing to do. It kind of helps our brains and it helps us relieve some stress. Doing those things would be great. So when it comes to social media, I would really caution you not to over-consume it during these next few weeks. It's going to be very easy to spend a whole lot of time scrolling through social media, and I'm not sure that's going to be the most productive use of your time, the safest use of your time when it comes to your mental health. Really take care of that mental health, and that might mean kind of trying to cut back a little bit on social media. If you're like me and you like to consume information about what's going on, I've been trying to gather as much information as I can about what's been happening because that does make me feel a little bit better. Kind of gives me a sense of control, if you will. I think that's a great idea. Just try and get it from reliable sources. Don't just believe everything you see on social media. If you want that information, try and find some reliable sources. Get some information from scientists or the CDC or things like that. Try and get some reliable information if that's something that you desire. And the other thing is just try and find normalcy where you can. It's not normal. These are not normal times. I know that. It's going to be harder, I think, as time goes on to find that normalcy in different places, but do your best to find that normalcy. You know, maybe take this opportunity to get back into a hobby that you used to enjoy that has maybe fallen by the wayside for one reason or another. Read some books. Might be a strange idea for some of you, I know, but it'd be a great thing to do. You know, get into a Netflix series if that's something that you've been wanting to do. Find a series on Netflix or Amazon Prime or something like that that you've been wanting to get into, but you didn't have the time. But try and find some normalcy where you can. So those would be, you know, some of my pieces of advice for you. I know some of you guys there's going to be some times when you're going to feel some stress during these next couple weeks. You know, reach out to the people in your lives that you feel can help you with that. Friends, but maybe adults as well. Teachers, if you need to, we're all here. We will all do our best to help you with any kind of issues, even if they have nothing to do with the subjects that we teach you on a daily basis. Reach out to us. If faith is something that's important to you, make sure you're reaching out to those leaders of your faith, your youth ministers, your pastors, and people like that. You know, this is the time when they're going to shine. This is the time when they're going to provide a lot of value to you in your life. So do that. But take care of yourselves. Take care of your mental well-being. And we'll see each other again at some point. Whether it's 2 weeks or more, you know, no way to know right now. But we're going to get through this. Just hang in there. And we'll see each other again. All right. We'll see you later.